This episode should literally just be called podcast.
Gee, that was the build-up? That's what we were waiting for you to download recording software for, so you can tell me that it's going to be called podcast?
I had an idea and then I forgot it.
Okay, well, welcome to Smoothie Time with Joe and Steve.
Joe and Steve.
Untitled podcast number 1 as of presently.
I'm your host, Joe and Steve, and I'm here with...
I'm also Joe and Steve. We have the same name, and both are 2 names. Anyways... let's just set it there, and then we can edit it in post.
Yep.
So, yes, sir.
That's the other beautiful thing I like about podcasts is like you don't have a lot of editing you have to do. It's a good way to just kind of talk about. Talking's like one of the easiest things to do, really.
Yeah.
And you can just talk about what your like ambitions are and just interesting shit in any given subject or whatever, and then
you can be made fluid through the art.
Yeah,
I agree. It's wonderful. It's a really interesting medium that we have yet to explore.
Yeah,
and must begin.
Yep. So Trump's president.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's that. Our first meme president.
Yeah.
Let's do it. 2017 to a year potentially worse than 2016. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we're off to a pretty alright start. Nothing like...
Yeah, well, I mean, he hasn't even been fucking inaugurated yet, so really we're not even off to a start yet.
Well, I mean, in general, it's been alright.
It's been okay.
Nothing's
Except for the
happened.
part where those guys kidnapped that mentally challenged kid. That was a hiccup. That was a bit of a hiccup. But besides the torture, I think everything's going all right so far.
All right, at least
riots happen too, and people flip cars and burn shit. But there
was another like bus attack in Germany also.
Gee, it doesn't sound like it's going so well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. That was real world events with Joe and Steve.
With Joe and Steve.
And Joe and
we have no real details on any of these things except we've just heard it through the grapevine or like we saw a video or something.
Someone rants about it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or heard my dad's like conservative talk radio playing in the background and gleaned something from that. I try to keep an open mind. Anyways, just whatever comes to mind at this point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We
could actually cut it.
Yeah. So let's kind of just try to get in the groove of the conversation without trying to come up with new topics right now.
Yeah. It's a windy one. Windy one. It's a windy one outside.
What now?
It's a windy one outside.
It's a windy one outside. Is it?
Windy Woo Homecoming Warrior. What is Brenda Song up to right now?
Oh fuck.
Let's talk about how Disney Channel's kind of going to shit and how Disney in general is kind of like really killing it with owning the world.
Yeah, I think they've kind of just shifted their focus. Or so it would seem. It seems like they're like, all right, we're gonna just put the television on autopilot and start trying to actually make slightly less shit films. And as a result, they released 2 animated films this year that were both very well received. Only one of which that I've seen, which is Zootopia, which was a fucking some pretty masterclass business as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
I mean, fight me on that, but I thought that Zootopia was fucking brilliant. And I heard Moana was a little more like modestly awesome, but
isn't that funny? Because Moana's been in the works for a while, like the conceptual stage.
Yeah.
A long time ago, everyone was like talking about like, oh, listen, there's going to be a Hawaiian princess, and but what's funny is, I think the Princess and the Frog, or whatever that movie was called.
I think
that was it. Was it that? Okay. I didn't see it, but that was good. Like, that was
well received. Like,
she like is officially a Disney princess.
Yeah, they pulled that. They made that happen.
Well, what's funny is that when Disney did finally, like, it's kind of obvious that they sort of decided to focus on a broader scale or whatever, because Moana wasn't
kind of like broadening the stage for what they can do as far as the CG animated movies.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, Moana wasn't like fucking Frozen or anything. No one's gonna, or at least I don't think anyone's gonna look at.
I mean, it's Frozen is well loved because it was like the first time in a while that Disney had put out something that people found to be really like significantly its own thing. I would disagree with that, at least in good part, but I certainly I mean, that's why it's big. Like, it's a big deal. Like, if Moana was the first thing that had come out in a while, and had the musical numbers and everything, I mean, Let It Go was also like a big reason for, like, just that whole craze was part of why Frozen was such a big deal. Like, if you really like dissect Frozen, it's really nothing special, but like, it was definitely the beginning of a new era of Disney CG films that are like of notably more distinct value and quality.
Yeah.
Because then after that, like, Big Hero 6, which, I mean, I had my qualms with, but was also really, really awesome in a lot of ways. And then, like, Zootopia, like, it's just like a consistent getting better type thing. And then Moana, they're kind of plateauing right now. Who knows if the next thing they're going to do is also really exceptional or what. But yeah, and then they also happen to own both of the biggest franchises ever.
Wait a minute.
Well, it probably just stops and starts it's just...
What the fuck?
Oh, I don't know, dude.
That was weird. I think we should
stop this and see what's happening.
See what happened there. Alright. Sorry for that.
Oh, where were we?
We just were checking out the recording thing. Alright, anyway.
Where were we going with that? What were we saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and then Disney also is they own the two, like, most powerful franchises, like, ever existing in the Marvel films, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe canon films, and Star Wars. Like, they have the two biggest blockbuster things that have ever existed ever.
Yeah.
I mean, besides fucking Avatar, but fuck Avatar. Unless they have Avatar. Is Disney own Avatar?
Oh god, yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so, because I feel like we would have seen, like, some Avatar
I
shit.
feel like we didn't notice that. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, yeah, they own, like, the most successful stuff ever right now. And they're actually producing, like, good work, you know?
Yeah.
None of the Marvel movies and none of the Star Wars movies thus far have been really at all poorly received. You could argue, like, I don't know, the Thor movies have been of lesser, like, but they're still relatively positively reviewed. Like, everything they're putting out right now, nothing is, like, garbage, you know?
Yeah.
And that, I think there's something to be said to that. I mean, you gotta say something when Warner Brothers is just, like, fucking, they look like the fucking, like, what the fuck do you even say about that?
Wait, what?
About, like, how poorly everything over at Warner Brothers is being handled right now. in regards to DC.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, they're like the fucking coke-addled stepchild of what Disney's trying to do right now. That's like completely in disarray. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. It's like they're not even trying with anything besides marketing at all.
What was coming out? What was coming out in like 2007, 2008 as far as DC?
2007, 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, they hadn't like started the cinematic universe or anything. They probably, it was probably around the time that, like, I don't know. No, Green Lantern was like 2011. 2007, 2008. Oh, that was the end of the Dark Knight movies. Their Dark Knight movies were still going on.
Still going, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 2008 was when the Dark Knight came out, so they still had, like, and then the next one didn't come out until like 2012. So that's all they had going for them, and that's only because they gave it to Nolan and actually gave him control.
Do you think Marvel, like, knew that? Do you think, well, I mean, obviously they knew that, but do you think Marvel, like, they like,
knew that,
they were like, okay, they've already started something that they're committed to. Let's actually start our cinematic universe. And then they'll be forced to, like, continue the Nolan thing, and then, like, they'll either have to convince Nolan, and they'll have to, like, rearrange everything and be like, fuck, what do we...
You wonder if they timed it.
Yeah, so
because like, Iron Man came out around the same time as the Dark Knight came out.
Yeah, so they're like, let's go into Iron Man.
Let's dive into our big, ambitious, first-time executed concept thing.
Yeah. And
start building on this cinematic universe concept, and then
get
DC
will
and then DC will like be forced to compete with us because we've got a plan and we don't know that they do. It doesn't seem like they do. You know? Plus DC kind of hate to say it, but wow, Heath Ledger's death really kind of. I would bet that The Dark Knight Rises would have turned out way better.
Yeah, because there was supposed to be that Joker.
Because Heath Ledger would have been in. I would bet you that Heath Ledger would have been a lot more prominent too. Like, because when all the criminals are getting out and shit, Heath Ledger would fucking get out, and then shit would get really real as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So, I would bet that that there was a little bit of calculation on the Marvel side of things for sure, and I wouldn't blame them at all, especially because they followed through and did a good job of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And we just talked about like the big shit. Okay. Let's just leeway here into 2017 hype.
Oh yeah.
2017 hype. That's a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah. What do we got?
Well,
I mean,
we've got
fucking
literally
Rian Johnson's
Star Wars, which, by the way, is it Rian Johnson or Rian? Because it looks like Rian to me because it's R-I-A-N, but it could easily be Ryan just spelled weird. And I don't know that I've ever heard anyone pronounce it. Have you heard anyone pronounce it Rian?
I don't think I've ever heard anybody pronounce
his name. I've never. So I really don't know. So fuck me if I'm butchering anything. But Rian Johnson's Star Wars is literally one of my very most hyped things of the year. However, my number one hype movie personally, and I know not a lot of people might share this just because I don't know how many people know about it, but Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets is, for me, the most excitement for a film that I have upcoming in 2017.
Yeah.
Just because I'm such a huge, massive fan of like sprawling, epic science fiction and stuff.
Yeah.
And just from the first teaser that we've got here, the only one we've got right now, just beautiful visuals, just massive shit, like so much detail. It just looks like a very rich visual experience and a fun main character dynamic, potentially a new big epic sci-fi franchise, which I'm like so down with. Like I would love that. Same thing with
not to jump too far ahead, and I want to stay on track here, but like after Blade Runner, after the Blade Runner sequel, which is another thing I'm very excited about, upcoming in 2017. Director Denis Villeneuve is most likely going to be readapting Dune.
Oh shit! I forgot. Patrick told me about that.
Yeah, because I just saw the article. I'm pretty sure it's official. That on Rotten Tomatoes, I read an article either saying that it's likely going to happen or saying it's going to happen. I don't remember which.
Is it
Denis Villeneuve is going to be adapting Dune?
Is it supposed to be a movie or a
film?
show?
Yeah.
Okay.
A film. Yeah, and I think that is another opportunity. I love space operas. I just want more space operas. I want more big space shit. I just think that stuff is the pure imagination in cinema right now.
Yes.
And even when it's done terrible,
There's
cough,
still
cough,
cool,
Wachowski brothers, or not brothers, shit.
Sisters.
I hate to be a dick. No, I didn't mean that. I actually really, really fucking love the Wachowskis, even though they've made a lot of shit. Sense8 Season 2 is coming, and I am so ready for that. I have had a blast watching Sense8 so far, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. Speaking of more 2017 hype, I'm kind of keeping on topic here, actually. I'm kind of surprised. I think we're doing good. What else? What's going on in 2017? I watched shout out to Breaking Banter, because I watched their most anticipated films of 2017, and there was like 10 movies I had no idea were happening that looked fucking amazing. They were talking about, because they are just like in the know, dude.
Yeah.
And wow, I'm blanking on like all of it because there were so many, but I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. But there's a lot of, the point is there's a lot of directors, a lot of really great directors who are coming out with new material this year. That's exciting as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Going back to Valerian.
Oh sure, yeah. We can edit.
Yeah, or just whatever. But
Yeah.
I like how I think adapting.
Oh god, I didn't even talk about the fact that I'm so excited because I've read them as the source material.
Yeah, which I don't know if you noticed, but I had the page up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You really should. I haven't read all of the books. I've read the first 6 or 7 books, and including the one that the movie is going to be most centrically based around. And I'm so.
But what I was gonna say is there's luckily, like, if the movie does really well, which I think it should. I mean.
Oh no! If it's good, like if it's well received, I think it will do well because it's just it's prime blockbuster material, really. Like even though it's what's his name? What's his name? The guy who directed The Fifth Element and everything. Oh fuck. I gotta remember his name for this because I don't want to not know that. French motherfucker. I think he's French, isn't he? Shit, I can't remember his name. Why am I not being able to remember his name? The guy, he did Fifth Element, he did Luc Besson.
Oh,
Luc Besson. Even though Luc Besson is he's pretty niche, but like a couple of his movies have gone on to become between cult and just full-blown classics. Leon, if you've ever seen, have you ever seen Leon the Professional?
No,
you really should. It's like that movie where like Natalie Portman's like 12 and
that guy from
French insurance guy from Godzilla is teaching her to be an assassin.
Yeah.
Shit. I hate that I always call him that, but I don't know his name.
Wait, well, I mean, I was gonna say the guy from Steve Martin's Pink Panther.
Yeah,
because that's the only thing I can remember.
I don't know if that's even more disrespectful or not. I am so sorry to only reference the bad roles that he's had.
Well, he's in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, he's in Mission Impossible. And he's decent in that.
Well,
go ahead.
Just like there's plenty of material to do.
There's just
sequels.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm so excited about because it looks like he's actually pretty decently, if not exceedingly well, adapting the actual at least from the visual perspective, a lot of actual stuff from the original graphic novel, and I'd be really excited to see them do a few of the stories that I've read, merely those. Like, there's a lot of interesting, fun, thought-provoking science fiction material to work with the original Valerian comic books, and I think that's just the coolest prospect of the year for me. But like, that's also I know like all the like art fags out there are like, what about all the cool like indie movies and shit? And I'm like, yeah, man, I know, but like, I'm such a sucker for like just fucking bombastic shit like Valerian. I can't help it. Same reason people get hyped for Star Wars. Like when The Force Awakens came out, I wasn't like that wasn't not my most anticipated movie of the year. Are you kidding me? It was Star Wars coming back. I was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. It's a reason to go to the movies, you know?
Yeah. We went Force Friday, we were just out and we decided to hit up the local Toys R Us just to see what the fuck was up with that. Like,
yeah, that was fucking awesome.
That was a great day, actually. That was so cool because we just got to see all that shit on the shelves, and they had the that thing that you walk through and then it has the motion sensor.
Yeah, it was the whole 9 yards there, man. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, goodness me. There's a shit ton to be excited for about 2017 if you're looking at entertainment. Like, if you're looking at like television,
if you're looking
movies,
at politics,
even video games and stuff, and I don't have that much like thought on that just because it's one of the mediums I'm least involved with. But
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing for me personally. You can't just like I can watch movies illegally on my computer, but I can't play games illegally on my computer.
Yeah.
Like, you know, games like that. Anyways.
No, I think science fiction is like I could get really deep into thought on like how our future in general, how the future of humanity is going to turn out, just as far as like I don't know, but like I think this decade right now is or the next coming years just in general is like going to be a big science fiction-y kind of year. I think it's and graphic novel like adaptations.
God, so much freaking delicious Marvel to eat up, and so much hopefully better DC to eat up. Fingers crossed for Wonder Woman. Fingers crossed. Man,
I saw this.
Go.
I saw an article. Well, I saw the title of an article, but I didn't really care to read it or anything. But it just was called like Ben Affleck might bail on the Batman movie or something.
Yeah, he said if they don't get together. I don't know how serious he was being, but he was just talking about if the script doesn't come together, if everything doesn't come together, then of course I'm not going to do it. And I was like,
damn, what a man.
They better fucking follow through and make this happen, because if they don't, they're going to lose Ben Affleck altogether, dude.
Good for him for putting his foot down and be like,
stand up for not just be putting out bullshit, you know. I love Ben Affleck. I don't agree with him in a lot of like real life political terms, but like that man kicks ass at directing movies, and I would absolutely love to see him like approach Batman with the kind of approach that he's gone to with some of his other films.
Him and hopefully the Joker. I really want to see him and Jared Leto.
God, just fix it, please. Fix it. Oh God, Jared Leto's Joker whole thing is kind of cancer. We need to fix it. If they're gonna keep Jared Leto, if he's gonna stay on next movie, we just kind of have to, as best they can, retroactively fix that character, make him put more depth into him, figure out how to stop him from being such a fucking edgelord.
Yeah.
Fucking Hot Topic product. Please, dear God.
Jesus.
When we walked into Hot Topic the other day and saw all the Harley Quinn stuff, so much Harley Quinn, God, it was just heartbreaking. I was like, oh God, these this movie was purely made to like. It obviously was made with very little care, or at least little know-how. I know the people behind it seem to have good intentions,
Yeah, the
but
actors and
what the fuck? It's such garbage that it's hard to even see how they were really like thinking to themselves that it was going to come out well.
Just corporate.
There were
marketing.
6 or 7 different cuts of the freaking movie, and they had to just mash them haphazardly together to get a film out of it, and it shows like shit. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yep. All right. Well, we're kind of coming down to the
we're almost
nitty gritty of our drive.
We're
the
reaching
nitty gritty of the podcast, but we're coming towards the end of our drive here.
Yeah. So let's look, man. I know we didn't cover all that much, but we had I think we did touch on some interesting, important stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this is good for a first time effort, maybe.
Yeah.
It might be decent, serviceable.
I think. Yeah.
Maybe we can. Maybe what we'll do is we'll record a couple more drives and then compile all of that together.
Yeah.
And make our first podcast. Maybe
we should.
We could do that.
Sounds
we could
cool.
do that. That would be good. Just to give you guys a frame of time reference, Austin's gonna go back and finish editing together our pretty damn late Rogue One review.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're putting it out because we recorded it a while back and we just hadn't finished editing it, and we did most of the job while I was there today. And tonight he's gonna finish it up. We're gonna post it.
So are you saying I should post this first? Or?
No. I'm just saying, like, to give them a frame of reference for when we recorded this.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay.
Chronologically. Yeah.
I might go ahead. Well, I might not have time. I might upload this tomorrow, but what we're doing right now.
No, we could. Yeah. Let's just.
I hope I can
Whatever you want to do, man.
Oh god.
Oh man,
You're turn around down here.
Coming up on. Let's see how it is down here. Let's see how it is. Oh, is it a travesty? Is it that?
I think. Oh, we're all fucked.